Come on over, it's time for Tim Friend. All right, everybody, welcome back to Tim Friend. I'm Tim, I'm your friend. This is the third recording session of our Fire Emblem 7 Lyn hard mode to Hector normal mode Iron Man run. So we're popping back in here on Lyn's story, chapter 8, where we left off. But I do want to say that I've done some research. I've done a lot of sciences between recording sessions here. Oh gosh, go work. And I've come to a startling and depressing revelation. And that is that I kind of want to use Kent. That's right. Our boring, snooze-worthy redhead cavalier who sucks is actually gonna be a character that I use. Yeah. Oh god, vile, disgusting. I know, but he's got some really good support conversations later on. I mean, he's boring in them certainly, but I really, god damn, I love Sane. You see, and Sane gets better when Kent exists. It's depressing, but it's true. He just gets better. Ugh, and I hate it. I hate him, and I hate that he gets better. But you know what? That's the way it is, and that's what we're gonna do. So he's still at level 1, I believe. He might have gotten to level 2, but we're gonna take these last couple of chapters in Lyn's mode to try to level him as crazily as we can. Good luck, though, us. We'll see how that goes. And if it ends up not working out, then it ends up not working out. And if he ends up dying, then whatever. I'm not gonna shed a tear. I'm gonna be like, oh man, isn't that a bummer that we don't get to see those cool supports? But you know what? We have other characters, especially like Sane, who will do the same job as Kent, but better and look cooler. And Lyn, who Sane should be able to get with, but it's not the support option. Don't even get me started. Sane clearly has a thing for Lyn. It's so obvious, and they never... I don't want to spoil any. I already spoiled it, but that's part of the reason why Kent makes it better. So we're back here on the Ballista mission. I defeated the archer due to shenanigans with the dancer. Shedanceners. I got some good shenanigans in there. We're just trying to plow through. The only thing that's obstructing us from going south is the fact that I don't really have a good frontline unit over here, because Sane and Florina are off on their own. Quixotic? It's definitely of like Don Quixote, but Quixotic sounds weird to me. I don't like it, but whatever. It doesn't mean that's how it works. We're gonna basically use these little reinforcements to keep training up Lucius and Urk, because they are technically our lowest leveled characters, aside from Nils, who is gonna be lower than everyone because he's Nils. We're gonna send Will over to start getting that village, because I don't think there's anything super important in there, but I still want to get it because I want all villages to be rescued, because what about bandits? Who's gonna tell the villages to close the gate? There's bandits everywhere, constantly, at all times. Urk gonna pick up this kill. Urk, I'm warming a little bit to him, not just because of his fire spell, but he's doing pretty well. He's getting some good growths. Look at that, 889 and 7811. Like Lucius is always gonna be faster than him because Lucius is fucking sweet. But I mean that the Urk is gonna do more damage and have cooler animations, in my opinion. I always really like the elemental magic animations better than the light magic and the dark magic. The dark magic's animations are really cool, but they take 2 years to complete, and the light magic animations just aren't super. They don't throw me for a loop as much as the elemental ones do. This bandit is going to wage his little futile quest, which is what I'm going to say instead of Quixotic or Quixotic. neither of which sound good. I think that's just a word that you can write, but you should never say aloud. That's a grammar thing, right? Words that should be written but not said. Yeah, sure. It's phonoharms. That's the term. Alright, he tells me about the weapon triangle. This here Lance Reaver, he's really metagamey. He gives us a sword that we can use that beats lances. You remember the weapon triangle? I think I talked about it. The swords beat axes, axes beat lances, and lances beat swords. You might have read it in that little dialogue, monologue really, that happened with the old man, but I was spacing pretty hard through that, so it's probable that you missed it. But yeah, it's a pretty big deal. That's part of the reason that both Kent and Sane are very good, is because once they're promoted, they can access swords, lances, and axes all in one class, and that no other class can do that. And that means they can always get some kind of advantage over a melee attacking enemy. And they also have really high movement. Movement apparently is really important. I don't know. I spent a lot of time lurking on very particular Fire Emblem fan websites, and that's generally the conclusions I'm drawing. I don't really care if I'm wrong, though. I still love Fire Emblem, and I'm gonna keep playing Fire Emblem. So if it turns out that the things I said are wrong, Crimea River, these guys. I really like the soldiers, little foot dudes with spears, and they suck all the time. They're the worst. But you know, when in a later Fire Emblem you actually get one of these guys, like as one of your own units, and it's a girl, and she's a cutie, and I love her, because you don't get that fucking. I don't think you get that. You don't get it in any other game I've played, at the very least, and that's that's the most important part to me, because I haven't played the games that I haven't played, which makes a lot of sense if you think about it. But yeah, I think it's really cool, and they upgrade not to like a knight, which is like the heavy armor guys that we fought before, but they just upgrade to like a better soldier. Nils gets a level up, level to 3. The road is long, ladies and gentlemen. Can this guy come all the way up? Oh, Urk. Urk is gonna get some nasty plays in here, using that forest to prevent people from getting into melee with him. Look at that fire animation. It's cool. It's hard to, like, going from this style of animation to like the GameCube Fire Emblem styles of it. Urk, try a little harder, please. Because the GameCube ones were very stiff. Because they were trying to make it look more real, I believe. But it just kind of looked boring. Like, a lot of the animations were just like, I walk up to them and I swing with sword. Like, there was no character to a lot of them. It just, even like the mages were just kind of like, I raise my hand and magic happens. Like, at least the magic was animated, but it's still like, I raise my hand and magic is happening. And that's not exciting, that's not fun. That's just, that has to be saved by the magic animation itself being cool. And while they were cool, it was still detracted by it. It could have been cooler, is what I'm saying. Like all the weapon fighters like looked pretty much exactly the same when they were using their weapons. I'm gonna have to stop using Urk for a bit, even though he's technically one of the lower levels, because he's gonna run out of fire. And I'm not going to get the chance to buy more fire, I don't think, in the next mission. If I do, though, I have to take advantage of that. I might save Urk and Lucius for this. His name is Yogi. It's... like, that... the localization team must have known about Yogi Bear. Why didn't they... I don't know. That's goofy. There's a lot of... like, Fire Emblem's full of goofy-ass names. Like Sarah, our healer here. Her name is Sarah. But they spelled it S-E-R-R-A. What? Okay, just call her Sarah. It's a name. It's a name that people in North America know and recognize. You can just call her Sarah. And like, it's goofy. They're either fantasy names, mostly very short, except for stuff like Florina and Renault, who's later. There are a lot of really short name characters. I wonder why that is. Yeah, they're vaguely fantasy type names, and that's fine. I love fantasy type names because I love fantasy type games. But then there's the ones that are just like English names, but not quite, and that's... Why? Why is that a thing? That guy has an axe reaver, that guy's a lance reaver. They beat axes and lances, but they don't beat swords, so let's put Lynn into the line of fire here. And, ooh, though. This one's just a soldier. His hit rate is hilariously low, and my avoid rate is very high. Let's give it a shot. She'll maybe get hit by that mercenary, but if she does, I'm not super chuffed about it, because he won't be able to get a double attack on her, and because Lynn is scary fast, and he won't be able to kill her because mercenaries aren't scary strong. They're just kind of all in the middle. When I say mercenaries, I'm referring to that buff swordsman down south. If you're not aware of Fire Emblem, that guy's a mercenary. You can see it. Alright, there, mercenary. He's a professional soldiers with a balanced set of skills. And what that means is they're just kind of average all around. They're fast enough to not get double attacked by a lot of things, but they're slow enough and weak enough that they can't murder everything. I still love them. Like, you get a couple of mercenaries in this game on your team, and they're fucking rad. I love both of them. But they're as enemies, they're just kind of like, oh, okay. They're not frightening because they're not specialized. It's not like I have to keep these mercenaries away from my blankety blanks. They're if anything, they're specialized at killing the axe users that I'm not going to use anyway. So that's not scary. Lynn needs to get some strength growth. Is that 6? That's not gonna cut it for very long. We got Florina. It's a lance reaver, isn't it? Yes, it is. Well, let's use Lucius, or yeah, Lynn just dinged. I'm gonna play World of Warcraft. I'm gonna hit her, hit him. That's clearly, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to tell. Things are very pixelated. Have Sarah go heal Lynn. That brigand down there obviously has a sword reaver because it's teaching you that sometimes weapons break the weapon triangle. Ooh, mysterious. And then we're playing hard mode and we know about this. Yeah, he's got a sword reaver. So he's got an axe that's good against swords but weak against lances, which is the inversion of the usual. And we'll put Florina, who only uses lances, down to meet his charge and end his life, preferably. We'll watch Nils do this. At some point, I might turn the animation... Like, when I grind Nils, what you can do is you can sort of turn the animations off, and that really speeds things up. But I like seeing the animations, especially for, like, my attacks. Like, I like seeing them crit, so a lot of times I'm gonna keep the animations on, and ooh! I like seeing that shit. It looks rad. Go Florina, she's the best. I like seeing the animations. See, they're cool. You can't tell me otherwise. You'd be wrong. You'd be John Wrongsman. Yeah, Urk's lower. I'm gonna bring Urk down here. Have Sarah just kind of wiggle around near him, just so that Nils can play his funky music, white boy. But we'll get around to killing this boss next time on Tim Friend.